Welcome to episode 5 Sports Mafia podcast. We got Cole, we got Jackson, and we got Jacob, the OG crew. We're missing Xander because he's out doing dumb shit. But today we're doing an off-season recap, talking about who had the biggest money moves, who had the best draft, what teams looking good going into the next season, what divisions took a step up this year, and just like overall talking about like the off season. So this has been probably the craziest off season I've seen in my lifetime, and it's like we had to make an episode and get into it. So um, I guess we can start with like the first off season moves. I mean, what even started the off season? It feels like it's been forever. What were like the first trades
What
or
really
first
started
moves?
the off
Anybody know?
season? What did
I feel
really
like
free agency
I feel like
really
Russ-
started? I don't think the trade started until free agency happened.
yeah, no, they didn't, but I feel like Russell Wilson was the first one.
Yeah, Russell Wilson was probably the big one, and then everything.
Facts.
I think Devontae Adams happened close after that.
Yeah, it was either Tay Adams or Russ first, but I'm not sure.
They were both like bang bang too.
Yeah,
They
it
were
was
right
Russ
next to
because
each other.
I was getting my car fixed whenever it happened. That was right before spring break, and spring break happened. That's when Tay was traded, and then
Bro, I
Tyreek
remember when
traded after that.
Tay Adams got traded, I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and like I think Ben was like spamming my phone or some shit.
Oh yeah,
I started screaming, bro, and
I
like
saw the.
jumping up and down, running around my room, and my girlfriend's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's okay. I had a more embarrassing story. Whenever the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill, I was in the line for Steak and Shake, and I saw it. Like the notification said, the Chiefs are exploring Tyreek Hill. Keep in mind, I'm in the middle of like the whole Commons area, and I said that the Dolphins and Jets are in the running. I was like slightly freaking out. And then whenever I was about to get my food, it like turned on one of my friends, Madison, was over in another line. And I start freaking out. And I mean, everyone's just looking at me. I was insane, bro. It was embarrassing.
Dog. Dude, when the Browns got Deshaun, oh my God, bro. I was literally in a coffee shop, phone on airplane mode, because I had to knock out like 5 hours of schoolwork. I was like, all right, I'll check my phone halfway through. And like, if you remember, he already like cut us out of the deal. So it was like Falcons and Saints for the last two teams. And I remember I turned on my phone and I get a text from my brother, and it was a tweet, and it was like Deshaun Watson choosing the Browns. I straight got up, went to the bathroom like shaking. I just fucking yelled, like I just straight screamed, packed all my shit up and dipped, bro. I straight ran home. That was the most hype I've been in so long. And
Unfortunately,
shit fell apart,
it's
but whatever.
he's
Not
gonna
going
be
to, bro.
banned for life. So
Jacob, do you have any like interesting stories about like the star players that your team has gotten this offseason?
Yeah, Jacob, let's hear from you about the Jets.
Fuck Tyreek Hill.
bro wanted Tyreek so badly.
No, he's dead. When the Jets traded back into the first round for Jermaine Johnson, I was going insane on draft night.
We're all talking about
that's
seeing
Jets,
star
right?
players. And he's like, yeah, Jermaine Johnson, let's go.
You guys said Sauce Gardner or Garrett Wilson. Jermaine Johnson, man.
Jermaine Johnson.
Gonna be a top end.
The Jets had a great draft though, but like
All right, so let's actually start talking about some of these. By the way, this has 7 minutes on it, so whenever it cuts out, we'll just get back and record the rest of it.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we should start with Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
like, I feel
Russell
like
Wilson.
my first. Like, obviously the AFC West is just so stacked. Quarterback position too. Like, last season, I wouldn't say Russell Wilson was terrible, but the Seahawks were. And, I mean, I think the Broncos have a good offense, if I'm being unbiased. I think Jerry Jeudy, I don't think he's going to break out necessarily, but I think he'll have a good season. Sutton's a cold receiver. Like, the Broncos could be good, but, like, do you think Russell Wilson's going to, like, elevate them into contenders or not?
Well, this is how I look at it. And if it wasn't such a stacked AFC, then it would be an automatic yes. They'd be like a 1 or 2 seed because their team is talented. Their defense is good, but they've lost pieces. I mean, Patrick Surtain is one of my defensive player of the year candidates right now. And then Russell Wilson's a top 8 quarterback at least. So their biggest problem was always quarterback. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is not very good. Drew Lock, I mean, despite having a horse cock, he's not very good.
Hot take.
They have good weapons. I mean, Cortland Sutton's a dog whenever he's playing. Jerry Jeudy, I mean, if he can learn to catch the ball, then he'll be fine. And KJ Hamler, if he stays healthy, he's actually kind of underrated. And then Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon are both, a good running back duo. They have a solid offensive line, nothing special. It's really going to depend on how Russell Wilson plays if this team does anything. I mean, he's talented, yes, but it's like this team also is going against the Chiefs, who have Patrick Mahomes, the Raiders, who have Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, who also added Chandler Jones, and they had someone else, I believe.
Yeah. No, but the thing is like, has Russell Wilson like really regressed? And like, is he really like this huge fucking upgrade? Like, he's definitely an upgrade no matter what. But like, is he like this huge upgrade that makes the Broncos this team that can like win the AFC West or even make it to the AFC playoffs? Because there's so, like, I've said it in the group chat, like, there's probably only like 3 or 4 teams I think have no chance of making the playoffs in the AFC. Everyone else has somewhat of a chance. And that's why, like, I don't think the Broncos are going to be amazing. I think they're going to be good. They're going to be hard to beat. They'll be scary at times, but like, I don't think like Russell Wilson like is going to carry that team unless Judy
honestly,
the thing is he doesn't have to because the team has talent around him.
But like, okay, is that talent really like all that? You know what I mean? They don't have a top 10 receiver. They don't have. I mean, Surtain is probably a top 10 corner, but other than that,
definitely a top 10 corner.
Yeah, he's definitely top 10. But like, do you have anyone else in that roster that's top 10 any of their positions? Because like, let's look at some other Super Bowl teams. The Rams, top 10 quarterback, maybe. Not actually, we'll say top 12. I don't know if everyone's going to agree with that shit. Stafford, top 10 receiver easily, top like 5, top 1 corner, top 1 D line, top 10 linebacker. Like, they're stacked.
Dude, all you got to do is look at their division, bro. These Broncos are not going to be that team, dog. They're facing the Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. You got 3 top 15 quarterbacks that you're coming up against twice a year. So you're playing 6 games against 3 contenders every year with this team that's not even meshed yet. Like, the Broncos are not going to be that team this year. Maybe they come together in a couple of years, but first of all, Russell Wilson's had hand problems for a while. Russell Wilson's also getting old, and he's not like this great fucking Super Bowl quarterback anymore. He had DK Metcalf, he had Tyler Lockett, and he had a solid running back core in the Seattle Seahawks, and they couldn't pull it off. People say it was their defense. Now he's got a defense. I don't think the Broncos are going to win that division. I don't think they'll even be the 3rd team. I think they might get last in the division.
The thing was that Seahawks team's offensive line was atrocious. And running back Chris Carson was out. Chris Carson could never play football again. Rashad Penny, he was fine. But, I mean, DK and Tyler Lockett are cool, but the offensive line was so bad. I think he's upgraded offensive line. I don't know if the Broncos. It depends. It really depends how I watch them play. If I can consider them a playoff team, because right now, I don't know if I'd have them in there yet. They have the talent to be there. It's just the other teams. I mean, even like the Chargers. I'm high on the Chargers next year. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be real good. I think the Raiders can be really good. I mean. The thing, Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, I mean, you've seen it with teams doing it in the draft. I mean, the Bengals added Jamar Chase for Joe Burrow. The Dolphins added Jalen Waddle for Tua. The Eagles added Devontae Smith for Jalen Hurts. And all those guys were big target shares. So you can only imagine what Devontae Adams is going to be for Derek Carr. And then Hunter Renfrow was your second receiver along with Darren Waller. And they're improving in the offensive line. I mean, I like Colton Miller. I think he's really good. I mean, maybe Alex Leatherwood does something. Maybe. I mean, I think the Raiders might be better. I think the Broncos might be the fourth best team in their division right now, but I still think they still have a chance at the playoffs because of all that talent they have there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the other thing I was going to say about the Broncos is like they don't have a position group that I think they're just better than every other team in the division. They don't have the best quarterback. They probably don't have the best running back. Actually, no, Javonte Williams might be the best. I'm not sure. Wide receiver.
Eckler's probably better than Javonte Williams at this point.
Yeah, Austin Eckler.
Yeah, probably Eckler. And then wide receiver group, they do not have the best wide receiver group at all.
No.
Corners, maybe because it's Surtain, but like, I don't know who their corner number 2 is.
They lost some pieces at corner. I think they still have a good secondary, but they're.
I mean, obviously they have a really good Simmons, like they're good there, but they do not have the best D line. They do not have the best linebacker group. They are not like this team that they have talent, but if you look at all the other teams in their division and also in just the AFC period, every team has talent. Their talent is not better.
We had to restart the recording, technical issues, but we're going back into talking about the Broncos and the Russ situation. So back to what Jackson was saying.
Yeah, so basically, like, I'm not gonna say the Broncos suck, but I don't think they're a playoff team whatsoever. Like, if they were in the NFC, they're making it. Honestly, AFC though, no. Especially in the AFC West, no. They might get swept by every team. Maybe not the Chiefs, but they're getting swept by the Raiders and the Chargers. Like, I don't like. We can go about the Chiefs too. I don't have faith, but like honestly, the Chargers are sweeping them for sure. Raiders are probably sweeping them. Like, I genuinely think Russ has regressed, and like I said, I don't think they're like super talented or way more talented than everyone else. So yeah, I do not think the
lead for the first 8 weeks of the season. Then he sucks.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't think there's much more to say about the Broncos. I think they got so overhyped. Like once everyone heard about once everyone heard the Rush shit, everyone was like, "Oh my God, brother, that team, they were just missing that piece." Like, nah, they're still in the best division in football, in the best conference. Like AFC is the tightest conference right now. Like maybe 3 teams, like maybe 3 I could say are no for the playoffs, but the rest of them are like very close. So it's like at that point, it's like there's nothing else to say for the
Yeah, but
Broncos.
most people said that that was the missing piece whenever none of this stuff happened beforehand. So Devontae Adams wasn't a Raider. I mean, J.C. Jackson wasn't a Charger. Tyreek Hill was still on the Chiefs. I mean, Khalil Mack wasn't a Charger. I mean, a lot of players went from the NFC to AFC after the Russ situation. That's why we're talking about it first, because it was the breaking point for the whole offseason. So, I mean, I think that's why more and I even did. I was like, the Broncos are going to be a playoff team. They might be a Super Bowl contender. But, I mean, with the new AFC, I just don't know if I see it. I wouldn't say the Broncos are a playoff team right now, but they're definitely they have high potential.
The Broncos are not a playoff team.
They're finishing last in the division. I'm telling you.
Again.
Facts.
All right, well, let's move on to the Raiders because they made the second move going for Devontae Adams from the Packers, trading a first and a second-round pick the Packers didn't nail the draft, so, I mean, it didn't really make a difference. I mean, Christian Watson is cool. I thought he was overhyped in the draft process. I think they took Quay Walker with that first pick where they got from the Raiders. He has potential to be a really good player, but it's Devontae Adams. So I'm going to let Jackson take the lead on this one.
I'm not going to go into it big time yet. I'm going to let y'all get a lot of words in. But I would say, as far as kind of what you're saying, Cole, I think the Packers, they didn't necessarily lose the trade because I don't think, it was obvious Devontae did not want to be a Packer. They got something out of it, which, is better than nothing. So, I wouldn't necessarily say they lost the trade. It wasn't the Packers were trying to get rid of Adams. It was Adams was trying to go to the Raiders. That's all it really was. Yeah, I'm not going to go on a huge rant. Yeah, I want y'all to get your words in, and I'll just kind of respond.
All right, so I touched on the Raiders earlier when we were talking about the Broncos because I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos. And it's not even Devontae Adams that's really necessarily making, because I thought they had good receiving core beforehand with Hunter Renfro, who's proven to be a top 25 guy, one of the best route runners in the league. Darren Waller is just a matchup nightmare. Their offensive line's improving. It's still not great, which is the big concern I would say for the Raiders. That along with their defense. But they do have pieces there like Colton Miller. I like Parham from Memphis. But the Raiders have gotten better. Obviously, Adams. I mean, Chandler Jones was the big one for me. I thought Chandler Jones was a insane pickup. I mean, we were talking about him in the MVP conversation early last year with that big game against the Titans. And if he can bring that with on the other side of Max Crosby, it's gonna be hard to throw on the team because they got two really good edge rushers. And while the rest of their defense isn't great, sorry, Jackson, the rest of their defense isn't that great. I mean, if you have two good edge rushers, I mean, that's really the biggest part of it. I mean, the next thing is corner, which I think they picked up Rocky Sin, who has been pretty good for the Colts in exchange for Yannick Ngakoue, which I don't think he did much for the Raiders when he was there. I mean, he was solid, but
Ngakoue went off, honestly.
Ngakoue went off? Okay.
Yeah, he went off.
All right. Thanks for telling me so I didn't look like an idiot. Because I didn't hear much of him, I'm also not
the highest rated D lineman in the league last season.
W?
Behind Max Crosby. It was like him and Max Crosby, like the top, like I think they're both in the top 5.
W? All right. Well,
yeah.
Never mind. Ngakoue apparently was the greatest player ever. I mean, the Raiders also do have their holes. I mean, it was kind of odd. They're before I think the draft, they said that they're not picking up any of their fifth year options on any of the 2019 draft, which is not good considering how their 2020 draft handed out with, Henry Ruggs.
Why did they decline Jacobs' 5th year option? I still don't understand.
I think because they don't want to give him the money he's going to be wanting. I think they want to negotiate a lower deal, especially with them having Kenyon Drake.
Because the thing is they're trying to re-sign. They already re-signed Renfro, but right now they're in the process of getting Waller and Perryman extended, and Jacobs is not proven.
Jacobs is good. He's just not. He was good as rookie. He was robbed of rookie of the year his rookie year.
They didn't pick up any of their rookies 5th years. They didn't.
Farrell
makes sense.
I don't know why. I don't know why they picked him. I remember drafting. I mean, I liked Farrell as a player, but I was like, not at 4.
No, I was so mad about that pick.
Especially looking back how this 2019 draft's been.
I was at a training session. We were listening to it on the radio, and I was like, I didn't know who he was. I mean, real to you, I didn't know who the fuck he was.
I was doing YouTube. I remember I knew he was because I mean, obviously I did my scouting, but I was doing a YouTube live stream for a channel I used to have. And I remember when the Giants picked Daniel Jones, I didn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes.
Daniel Jones was still.
Yeah.
But
anyways, back to the Raiders.
Yeah, not Raiders.
Honestly. I think the Raiders, I think Devontae's a good move. As electric as he is, I see Devontae as like a big role, like a role piece in the Raiders offense. Like they have a very set offense at the moment with Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfro's making his appearance. And I honestly think Josh Jacobs is kind of overhated. Like he has a really high ceiling. One thing about Devontae that I think is going to like help this offense a lot is like he's quick. And he gets his shit, like he gets his routes out fast. Same with Renfro. And Waller's just a big target. Like this offense is going to be fucking great. Like even how bad the defense is, even though they're not horrible, like the offense will make up for it. And that's like the big part of it is like this offense is about to be crazy. I think that's like the best move they could have made this offseason. I don't think they need a running back. I think Jacobs is perfectly fine. And I think he's honestly a little overhated in my opinion. He's been pretty solid. He hasn't gotten a lot of reps, honestly. And I really just think that Tay was a solid move, and they did not give up much. He wanted out, and the only thing he got was just a fat bag. And yeah, I mean, solid move for them. Good role piece for that offense.
Jacob, you got anything before I go off?
Honestly, the Raiders had a W off season.
That's all you gotta say.
Put that on the quote graphic.
Hold on. I see them dark horse first place. Now hear me out. If Derek Carr and Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow click from the start, I can see them finishing like 12, 13 wins atop the AFC. What the hell's their division? West, something like that. Yeah, I see them finishing in top the AFC West. Hot take. Don't quote me on that though.
So, I agree with Jacob. I don't think we're gonna get first in the AFC. I think us going to Buffalo, like, that's just inevitable. But like, I think we have a big chance to win the AFC West.
Buffalo's over.
I mean, they're a little bit, but like, shit. Josh Allen is in, but like, I'm not gonna get into the Bills right now. The Raiders. I'll start with Josh Jacobs. Jacobs has not been given like a real chance. Like, he's sharing reps with Kenyon Drake, and also oh god, who I can't think of his name. We don't have him anymore, but we had another really good running back that was like sharing reps. But we did not have the O-line. Like, Josh Jacobs is a good running back, but he does not deserve like a huge ass bag, which is why I don't think I'm not mad we didn't pick up the 5th year, but I would be sad if we get rid of him, which we probably would. But the receiving core, I don't think Devontae Adams is gonna be like, I mean, honestly, he's number 1 receiver, but like, I think Renfro's gonna be the one that shines in the offense. Honestly, like, I think Renfro's gonna go fucking crazy. Adams is gonna have 1,000-yard season, but like, Renfro is just like, when you
next
have
Cooper Kupp.
I think so. I really like, maybe not like, he's not gonna be triple crown, but he's just gonna put
putting that on a quote graphic.
Yeah, I don't think Renfro is like, I don't think Renfro is gonna be like the triple crown winner, but like, I think Renfro will be up there. Like, last year, the Raiders did not have a receiving core after they lost Ruggs. Like, they didn't have
3 Ruggs.
Like, our wide receiver 1, I think, was Brian Edwards and Zay Jones. Like, those were our guys. Renfro just carried that fucking team. Waller did not have a great year too because he was hurt. So you add Waller, Renfro, Tay, and then they also got DeMarcus Robinson now, who's a fucking speedster. Like, that offense is nice. That's a piece. Like, no one's talking about him. Is DeMarcus Robinson's a good receiver. And like, I thought if we kept Brian Edwards, like, I feel like the offense would be really good. I don't know why we traded him.
Yeah, that one made no sense.
I still don't understand why we traded Brian Edwards, but
when did they trade him?
They traded like after they traded for Devontae Adams. It was like a weird like Tuesday day trade or something like that.
They traded a 5th-round pick to Atlanta.
Oh.
It was a really weird trade. I mean, they got their value back. I mean, he's a good receiver, but 5th round's not bad value. But just the trade
it doesn't make sense to me. But like, besides for the offense, the defense I think is overhated a lot. I think the D-line is nasty. Our corners right now is Nate Hobbs, Trayvon Mullen, and Rockison.
Who?
Like, that's not.
It's not bottom tier cornerback, but it's like it's a lower to mid tier. I mean, Trayvon Mullen's good when healthy. Nate Hobbs, I mean, as long as he's not on the side of a highway drunk, I mean, he's fine.
But like, Nate Hobbs' stats, like, if we're talking football, he did amazing. We're not gonna talk about his criminal record. We're gonna talk about football stats.
We got someone else's
criminal record. We gotta talk criminal record.
We got someone else's criminal record to talk about later.
I'm not saying it's amazing, like, secondary, but like,
he's a good slot corner.
Yeah, but like, Nate Hobbs, Mullen, Rockison, that's like, I'm gonna say it's a above average secondary. Jonathan Abram, his coverage is fucking terrible, so I'm not even going to go into him. But Trayvon Mullen, I think, can have a breakout year. He's good. He's a good safety, honestly.
He was the best. He was the 2nd best safety in that class so far.
Like, he's a good safety. Yeah. Like, and he didn't do amazing last season, but I think he's going to take off. Denzel Perryman is a freaking beast.
He's a tackle merchant.
Yes, he's a beast. Like, I think the defense, I don't think we have like a top 10 defense. I'm not saying that, but like I think people are like overlooking it and are kind of just trying to find holes and be like, oh, the Raiders are trash because they don't have, a top 10 corner. Like, nah. We have probably 2 top 10 edge rushers. We have a top 12 quarterback, who I think might be top 10, but I'm biased, so I'm not even going to get into that.
There's an argument there that he's a top 10 quarterback.
I think he is.
I think you at least have to have him top 12. If not, then you're just wrong.
And then top 1 receiver, top 10, probably top route runner, or well, I'll say this right now: top 5 slot receiver, top 5 tight end, maybe top 3. Like, the team looks really freaking good. And then the other thing people keep forgetting, the Raiders made the playoffs last year with losing their head coach, losing their wide receiver 1, Nate Hobbs issues, injuries. And like these, like, me just saying it does not describe how much like that affects a team.
Don't forget the arrests.
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, Ruggs was I think the second thing I said. Like, losing your teammate to some shit like that, that's hard.
Especially when he's not a bad guy. He just made a bad decision. I've watched Ruggs since he was in college. I've always been a big fan. I remember, and it's sad looking back on it because he had a documentary before an SEC championship game where he puts the 3 up for his best friend who died in a car accident. So the only reason Henry Ruggs didn't die is because he wasn't there because he was sick. So it's kind of sad looking back on it. But Henry Ruggs isn't a bad dude. He just made a bad decision, and you can't ever take that back. He killed someone, and I think he killed a dog.
Yeah, he killed a lady and her dog. Like, the thing is, like, everybody makes mistakes. Like, and I'm not saying Ruggs deserves like a second chance or some shit like that, but like, I don't think he's like a terrible person, but like, but kind of going to your point, like, he was a good guy that like a lot of people on that team liked and had a connection with. And it's like, you lose someone like that, it's like, just, it's not just about football. Like, oh yeah, they lost a receiver. No, it's like they lost their friend, bro.
Yeah, you saw the way Derek Carr talked about him. He talks about him very highly. Even his Alabama teammates talk about him very highly. I'm watching Devontae Smith talk about him. Jalen Waddle talked about him. Everyone talked about him very highly. He just made a bad mistake, and unfortunately, it's a mistake that can't be fixed. But it also doesn't. He's also not a bad guy. If that makes sense.
But like,
I honestly think like it's like a race for the AFC West at this point. It's like Raiders and Chargers are the only 2 teams I see that'll fit that standard at this point. The Chiefs have kind of fallen out of it, with Mahomes coming off that large interception season and kind of just like a little rough patch, and now they're losing Tyreek. I think it's really up in the air, but I definitely see the Raiders as more put together than the Chargers right now at all. It's really all depends on how the team meshes, which I think it'll do really well. But that Devontae trade was just shocking, honestly.
Yeah, I think we can transition over to our next big wide receiver.
Are the Raiders a playoff team or not?
Easily.
Yes.
I think they're one of the lower. I think they'll probably end up in one of the I don't think they win the division, so I think they'll end up in the last 3. But I think they'll be a playoff team, huh?
You think the Chargers win the division?
Yeah, I'm very high on them.
Okay, here's the thing to me about the Chargers. J.C. Jackson was a great trade. We can talk about that real quick. I know we're not going to go big about the Chargers.
Yeah, that was a good free agency signing. But that's not even it. Khalil Mack was insane.
To me, Khalil Mack, that's the part where I'm like, they're overhyped. I don't think Khalil Mack's going to do shit for them.
As long as he's healthy, he's one of the best edge rushers in football. So,
but like, as long as he's healthy.
Yeah. I forgot to touch up on this. I wasn't a big fan of the Josh McDaniels hire. I'm not going to lie. And that also puts the Raiders a little bit down. They have the talent, but I don't know if Josh McDaniels is that good of a head coach.
I think Josh McDaniels is going to make Kenyon Drake go off. That's kind of the thing I've been reading up on about, like, a lot of people think Kenyon Drake is going to be like that just that weapon that people aren't really talking about. But yeah, I think Kenyon Drake is going to be valuable.
And Drake.
Eh,
And Drake.
I think honestly that the next free agent thing that people are forgetting about, if we want to like transfer on, that's been slept on heavily, is the Rams getting Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about the
Yeah.
Rams.
Dog, that was, I don't know. I forgot about that until we started this episode. The Rams got Allen Robinson.
Right.
Like,
They lost
I'm
Robert
just
Woods,
now.
but I think here's the I think I was saying about this earlier. I think Allen Robinson's going to be good. He's not going to be what he was like earlier in his career, but Robinson is going to go off. I think like maybe like 750 yards. I can see that. Like, and Cup's not going to slow down. I don't know if he's not going to win Triple Crown again. I don't think. I think if anyone's going to do it next season, it'll be Jamar Chase. But like, I think the Rams, like, if I was gonna pick one team that like I would bet, if I had $100 and I had to bet on a team to like go really fucking far and win the Super Bowl, it's the Rams easily. That team is so stacked, bro. Like to me, it's just insane how stacked that team is when you really look at it. Like, because I mean, Bobby Wagner. If they had Von Miller still, I would lose my shit. Like that team would be so freaking overpowered. But like Allen Robinson's such a and Van Jefferson's not a bad receiver.
Nah, he's a good wide receiver 3.
Yeah, that receiving core is nice. So yeah, I think the Rams are like they're Super Bowl blocks unless Tom Brady just does Tom Brady things. But NFC it's between the Rams and the Buccaneers and no one else really.
Now we gotta go back to my other video. The Saints are Super Bowl dark horses.
See, okay, I do. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it in this episode, but like my dark horse is the Eagles. I can go in.
Oh yeah, that's well. No, we're gonna have a whole different video for stuff like that. I agree with the Eagles take. It's really all about Jalen.
Yeah.
And if he's not the guy, I mean, they have 2 first-round picks to go get a Kyler Murray, who doesn't look like he might be in Arizona that much longer. So.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah, I just wanted to like touch on that because like that was one of the most slept on offseason moves that I think people forgot about was that yes, this team is solid. They lost Odell, which he's still up for grabs, and they picked up Allen Robinson, younger, healthier, and most likely going to put up similar numbers than Odell would if he was healthy for that team specifically. Like that, they just got a new wide receiver one, especially because Robert Woods is now gone too as well.
Yeah,
like they got a really solid squad right now.
Now I'm going to say this: I don't think Allen Robinson is going to do better than Odell. Odell went like absolutely insane when he was with the Rams. Like when he played, I think the Rams will take Odell back. I don't think he's going anywhere. Like I don't know. He's not going to Cleveland.
If Cup didn't have that great end to the Super Bowl, I think Odell would have. And Odell didn't get hurt. I think Odell would have ended up winning Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he would have. He would have.
Which would have been. I would have really liked if Odell won Super Bowl MVP. But I mean, I think it's a great end to Cup season. I mean, he single-handedly helped carry them against the Buccaneers and.
I think the only teams I see Odell going to is the Rams. I'm biased with the Raiders. Maybe the Bengals. Be with his LSU buddies. He's not going to the Browns, bro. Nobody wants to play for the Browns right now. I'm sorry.
I think he ends up at the Packers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Packers. That was my last team.
All right, so the next move, I mean, we talked about Allen Robinson.
Or Minnesota.
Where y'all want to get into now? Y'all want to get into the Tyreek move?
Question is, what came first, Tyreek or Deshaun?
No, I think Tyreek. I want to talk about the Chiefs too.
All right, we'll talk about the Dolphins and Chiefs. Who you want to start with, Dolphins or Chiefs?
We'll do Chiefs because Dolphins.
Yeah, Chiefs.
All
right. 8 minutes.
I don't think the Chiefs are a playoff team.
They're not.
Because here's the thing, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL and probably the most talented quarterback I've ever watched. But like the receivers are Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Juju Smith-Schuster, and said DeMarcus Robinson. Nicole Hardman. Nicole Hardman's their best receiver, in my
I
opinion.
don't agree with that.
I think Nicole Hardman's cool.
Juju. The reason people hate Juju so much is the TikTok. And because
I don't
his
think
rookie year, he was insane. Next to Antonio Brown, he had one of the best receiver seasons as a rookie we've seen. And then whenever he didn't follow that up with being one of the best receivers in the league, everyone just started shitting on him. Juju is still a talented receiver, and I think that Patrick Mahomes will get a better run out of him than Roethlisberger. So I think Juju's been overhated. I think he's gonna have a nice season for the Chiefs. Does he help their woes of the losing Tyreek? I don't know. I don't know if he makes them a playoff team. I think you would still have to bet on the Chiefs to be a playoff team because I love their draft. Their draft was phenomenal. Getting Trent McDuffie, a guy I really like, a guy who puts his heart on the sleeve every play and goes out there and just balls out. I like George Karlaftis a lot. I think he is very talented bull rusher, and he's really young as well. And then Leo Chenal was one of my favorite. He was my favorite linebacker in the draft. And so I think the Chiefs had a really good draft. So, I mean, if they – I love Tyreek, but I don't know if he's going to – them losing him is going to just immediately not make him a playoff team. So
what I was going to say, like, you're taking about Juju, it literally proves my point because, like, it just showed that he's not a wide receiver one. He's not. Like, he did good because he had AB getting double teamed and shit. Juju Smith-Schuster, yeah, he's like, I think he's decent. He's going to put up decent numbers. But, like, people are forgetting that the Chiefs were absolutely terrible last season until, like, mid-season, and they just turned up. Okay? If they start like they did last season, they're not doing shit. Because they're not going to, like, just bounce back and go crazy like that. Because they did lose to Marcus Robinson too. They lost Tyrann Mathieu. Like, they don't impress me. Like, Mahomes, they're going to be contenders to be in the playoffs. They're not going to be like a 3-win team or some like, just terrible season. But like, could they be a 7, 8, 9 win? And 9 wins is not enough to get into the playoffs this year. Like, I guess 9 wins is probably their max, in my opinion, unless Mahomes just goes absolutely crazy and Marquez Valdez-Scantling becomes freaking Cooper Kupp all of a sudden. Like, it's not happening with them. Tyreek Hill, like, he has that X factor. He's got a talent that you cannot replace. Really, like, the only guy that like was really comparable to Tyreek Hill was Henry Ruggs, as far as like skill, play style, talent wise. Like, Ruggs, if Ruggs like really like reached his prime, he probably would have been like nearly as good as Tyreek Hill.
I think you put Jalen Waddle in that discussion too.
Jalen Waddle, yeah. Like, I think Jalen Waddle is up there. He's fast as hell, but like, to me, like, when I look at Ruggs and Tyreek Hill, like, maybe it's just because they're both like kind of shorter and we're shut up sevens. But I was like, they're like the same player. Waddle, to me, like, he looks taller and like, I don't know.
Oh, he's not. He's 5'10", like 180.
Really?
Yeah, he's 5'10", 182.
Okay.
I remember I made a tweet about him. The Patriots had a tough time tackling him. I was like, a guy this small shouldn't be this tough to tackle.
Right. But yeah, like, I always thought he was taller.
He's a small guy.
Nah, but yeah, I think I don't know. I think losing a guy like Tyreek Hill is hard. Like, especially the thing about Mahomes is like, he's got a cannon. When you have a guy like Tyreek Hill, you got a guy that has a cannon, it's perfect. You know what I mean? We can start talking about the Dolphins because that's why I'm about to like absolutely drill the Dolphins and probably piss off Cole. Because Tua is not Mahomes. But I'll let Cole get the first take on this because we are very different in this conversation. I don't know how Ben is on this.
So before the recording cut out, we're talking about the Dolphins, and I was gonna give my take because they're my team. The Dolphins. So Tua obviously is the big question mark, and I'm not saying I'm fully in on the guy. I'm not saying I'm fully out on the guy. I think he's not been dealt a great situation. Whether that be the receiving core, I mean, the head coach not liking them is not a very good sign, and the offensive line has been absolutely atrocious and has been statistically the worst offensive line in football. So, I mean, when you add all that up, Tua has not been dealt a great hand, but he's also not looked like the top 5 pick he was picked at. The thing, especially with a guy like Justin Herbert, who was picked after, who's looked phenomenal, Joe Burrow, who's starting to come into his own. I think that Tua's definitely have to prove it this year, but I know you guys don't like Tua, but I mean, the things about what I'm going to say is that you said in the Chiefs, you don't think the Chiefs are a playoff team because Tyreek Hill's a game changer. Tyreek Hill's going to be a game changer for the Dolphins too. And he's not only going to get his, he's going to help Jalen Waddle get his, because Jalen Waddle was going against wide receiver ones last year, and he was cooking them. He was cooked. Like, you go back and watch the film, he was cooking the cornerback ones last year. So now Tyreek Hill, you're going to have to prepare for Tyreek Hill's speed. Then you got Jalen Waddle's speed. And then if the running back trio stays healthy, I mean, you got Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, and then you got the third down back, Sony Michel, Myles Gaskin. And then the offensive line improved. Teron Armstead not only brings value as a good left tackle, but he also brings value as a teacher to these young offensive linemen that we picked with high upside, like an Austin Jackson, who is an athletic freak, but just not put it together. I think he's going to be playing guard, or he's going to be playing the other tackle. Liam Eichenberg hasn't been great, but I mean, he's only going in the second year, so it's just a tell time with him. And Connor Williams looks like he's going to be playing center. If he can keep his penalties under control, he's a good get because he's been playing. He plays well whenever. I mean, obviously, the only issue is the penalties. And then on to the defense. The defense is top 10. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones is a really good cornerback duo. I like Nick Needham. The D-line is okay. It's not nothing great. I mean, I like Emmanuel Ogbah. I think Raekwon Davis has potential. I blank out whenever we record some of these. Linebackers, I like Jerome Baker. I mean, Channing Tindall can get into the rotation. I think he's an athletic freak. And the Javon Holland, he's one of the best safeties as a rookie last year. He was so good last year. So this Dolphins team has talent. If you believe in Tua, you believe in Tua. That's your decision. If you don't believe in Tua, you don't believe in Tua. I know these two guys don't. But if they don't believe in him, but guess what? They'll have 2 first-round picks next year, so they can go get that guy. They can go trade for that guy. So,
yeah. So
I like this Dolphins team. So,
so I'm gonna start off with one good thing about the Dolphins before I shit on Tua. I think the Dolphins are a playoff team simply because they have the Niners OC. I can't think of the dude's name right now. I know Cole, you said, yeah, McDaniel. Like, they're going to use Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle like they did with Debo, and I think that's what's going to like elevate them. Because you get Tyreek Hill the ball or you get Jalen Waddle the ball, they're going to do something with it. There's too much speed. There's too much talent. Like, that offense is beautiful. For Mostert too. Like, they're going to get creative, and that's why I think they're going to do really good. I think they have a really good coach. But with Tua, they're not hitting anything downfield. I'm just being real. They're not. This team is like, their offense is going to succeed off big plays, off something short. I'm not necessarily saying that's a terrible thing for the team, but for the guy like with a guy like. I'm sorry.
What are you doing then?
I'm like trying to talk and it just switches to advanced mode. I'm sorry, man. I was trying to keep my cool. Oh, fuck. I think to Cole, the take you had at the end of our call of, he creates the most pressure for
Oh yeah,
himself.
Joe Burrow. No, that's been statistically proven. Joe Burrow creates more pressure than his offensive line actually gives. That's not me. That's not a take. That's been proven.
I thought you were talking about Tua doing that.
Tua creates less pressure. He takes less sacks than he's supposed to, but he also is more conservative with the ball. He's conservative with the plays, but Joe Burrow is more non-conservative, but he puts himself in more pressure. That's been statistically proven. That's
but either way,
not me saying Burrow bad, Tua good. That's me saying Burrow does and Tua does that.
No, but I'm saying this, I don't think having a bad O-line, it does make a huge difference, but I don't think it separates. When you see a bad quarterback, you see a bad quarterback. You see a good quarterback, you see a good quarterback. And the thing is, there's definitely Tua's not terrible, he's mediocre. But the thing is, bro, we've seen teams with mediocre quarterbacks do it. That's why I think the Dolphins can make the playoffs. But Tua as a whole, my guy Derek Carr, that was not a good O-line last season, and he got it done. Burrow brought his team to the playoffs. There's teams there's a difference between a good quarterback and a bad quarterback.
What I'll say with that is that while Tua he had the worst offensive line, and you're talking about Burrow getting it done with the Bengals offensive line, which was a little better. They also had a better receiving core than the Dolphins last year, and I think Tua had the most drop passes in the league. So I mean, like I said, you cannot believe in the guy, but I mean, I just want you to give him a fair chance before you.
No, I'm giving him a chance, but I'm telling you that for what I've seen so far, Tua ain't it.
We're about to clip this.
I would say so far I would have the same thing, but I've already told you guys I'm giving him 1 year.
If Tua didn't get Tyreek Hill this offseason, would you have faith in him?
I mean, I would still have faith in the progression because of the upgrades in the offensive line. And I still think with Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle, I mean, I don't think it's a great receiving core, but I mean, I wouldn't say the Dolphins are a playoff team, no, but I would have faith in Tua's progression, yes.
Tua
has gotten better.
Listen. Tua is Baker, and Jimmy Garoppolo had a baby, and it's Tua. That's Tua, bro. Tua's got the inconsistency of Baker, and he's got the fucking mindset of Garoppolo. But my thing is, Tua has all the pieces now. This is his proving year. If he can't prove it this year, he's done. He's a top 5 quarterback like Baker. He had an injured season. He's really up in the air. He could be a top 15 quarterback or a bottom 25. It's really up to this year at this point. He's got all the pieces, but it's just will he put it together, will he show out?
I don't think that's what's talked about enough is the injuries. I mean, I remember watching vividly against the Bills, Jesse Davis just sitting there watching Tua get his ribs broken. And that hip injury that he came back from somehow really fast was a almost career-ending injury. So I think it was still in his head for the first 2 years, especially with a bad offensive line, that anytime he gets hit, it's gonna. So I think that was a big reason that maybe he hasn't been performing as well as he should have. But I think the confidence. I mean, Brian Flores. I mean, you hear these stories. I mean, from Albert Wilson, he's you have to walk single file in the hallways, and he has player favorites. That's just not. I mean, you've seen Tua. You've seen all these guys break out their personalities with Mike McDaniel. I mean, I saw Tua talk shit for the first time ever since I've ever watched him play both at Alabama and in the NFL in that one press
You
conference.
talk about that
I
dumbass
think,
interview. He's like,
yeah, he was like, I don't know about if y'all recorded that last one. That one looked like money, but I can't throw the ball deep.
Yeah, so
Tua actually, I mean, he had one of the deepest throws last year, but it's also consistency with him. I think he can do it. I think it's just consistency.
I was dead serious about Teddy Bridgewater might start by week 5.
No, he won't.
I'm dead serious.
As long as Tua's healthy, Tua's the starter. Tua is
honestly
better than Teddy Bridgewater.
this episode's running long, so we low-key gotta move on. But do we think the Dolphins are a playoff team?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going maybe. It depends. It really all depends.
It
I think it depends on the Browns. I think it depends on Deshaun Watson.
That's
'Cause
true.
I think if Deshaun Watson plays, they're a playoff team. I think if he doesn't play, the Browns are not a playoff team. I watched Joey Brissett play last year. Y'all are fucked.
So moving on to the next biggest pick and the final big offseason pick was my Brownies getting the fucking jail cell himself, Deshaun Watson, my guy.
What's he up to now? 26?
28.
28, dear God.
I think so. Deshaun Watson. They're now looking at pushing for a harder penalty, possibly suspended indefinitely. NFLPA is going to have his back because these are still just allegations with no context, there's no sufficient evidence. But honestly, I think that was the biggest move I've seen the Browns make in my lifetime, other than Odell and Jarvis. But I don't know. I don't even know what to say. The team has. We are every single year. We're one of the best teams on paper, with offensive line, receiver core, quarterback, running backs, defense. Like we're all put together. But then there's always that one fucking nag, whether it's Deshaun or Baker getting injured, or just the team falling apart. Or Freddie Kitchens, or fucking our coach getting COVID, or whatever.
Or Beckham Jr.'s father.
Yeah, or Odell's father, or Odell's ex shitting on his chest,
crying about not getting playing time.
And then he drops the ball against the Steelers 0-16. But yeah, I mean, I don't really got much to say. I guess I'll leave it up to you guys. See what you guys have to say, because I'm kind of biased.
Well, I want to pose this question, y'all. If Deshaun Watson never plays in the NFL again, would that go down as the worst trade in NFL history for the Browns? And
He's in general.
In trade history, would y'all say that's?
I think the worst contract in NFL history. I don't know about trade. We didn't give up a whole lot.
I mean, y'all give 3 first-round picks for
that's a lot, bro.
3 firsts and 2 seconds.
Other picks.
That's true. 2 firsts. No, 2 firsts, a second, and a third.
It's the worst move in history.
Yeah, and then y'all were like, he might be a sexual predator, but we're gonna give him $250 million because
guaranteed.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
That was crazy too. Yeah, we're
at the time that this trade happened, I did think Watson was insane. I did. Like I personally, when it first went out, I didn't know everything though. Like I really was like not looking much into it, but I was like, nah, I don't think it happened.
Whenever everything first broke out, I thought he was, and then whenever I started looking more into it, I was like, there's probably some of these that are fake, but there's definitely some that are real.
Yeah, I agree.
And I watched it was like a press conference or something, and he just sounded so guilty. I was like, bro, there is no way he's innocent.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Let's say he does play. All the things I've seen from camp, he doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's so odd. Everything I'm seeing on Twitter is these Browns reporters. They're posting every defensive clip, but they're not posting. And the one offensive clip I've seen was an underthrow from Deshaun. So
I've seen a lot of good clips so far from like OTAs and some of the 7-on-7s they played. I've seen a lot of good throws to like Donovan Peoples-Jones, Mitchell Stewart, I believe his name is. Like he's had some good like lead balls, but also our defense. Grant Delpit coming back, he's been a fucking menace out there. Grant Delpit, Denzel Ward just went down with an injury, but like our defense is looking good out there. Deshaun, yeah, he's coming off a year off, but like I think if Deshaun, let's say Deshaun plays week 1 through the season, we're at least an 11-win team at the very least. And I think if Deshaun plays the whole season, we're winning the AFC North.
Yeah, I think if Deshaun plays, I think y'all are. If y'all aren't the NFC North or AFC North champions, y'all are definitely in the playoff.
We trade first went down. I had Browns in the Super Bowl.
Huh?
When the Browns like that trade went down, I had the Browns going to the Super Bowl for sure.
The only thing that bugs me
So
about
bad.
I think their team's good. I like Greg Newsom. I mean, I remember telling Ben, I was like, Greg Newsom's gonna be a stud. Whenever he first got drafted. I like the safeties, John Johnson. I mean, Grant Delpit coming back. I think Greedy Williams has been pretty good when he plays.
Nah, Greedy sucks. No, dude, our defense.
He's not
we
been
got
good.
Grant. Nah, he fucking sucks. Grant Delpit, Greg Newsom, Denzel Ward, Owusu Kormoa. Thank God we got rid of Mac Wilson. He's a fucking bum. Our defensive line's looking good. We're looking at Ndamukong Suh. We can still get some defense tackles, but like our team is so good on paper, yet we just fall apart. Like,
yeah,
if Deshaun plays week 1, we're a lock for the playoffs. But it's like it's up in the air at this point.
the receiving core is not phenomenal either. I mean, I like Amari Cooper. Donovan Peoples-Jones is solid. I don't know if he's a wide receiver 2. I think he's more of a wide receiver 3. And I'm not a big fan of David Bell. But I mean, I'll give him a chance. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Nah, I see DPJ as totally a wide receiver 2. He's big enough. We got David Bell. We could throw him in the slot. We also got Schwartz in the slot too.
Yeah,
we talk about the Raiders. Their wide receiver 2 is Hunter Renfrow. The Dolphins wide receiver 2 is Jalen Waddle. I mean, a lot of these great wide receiver core.
I like the Browns offense. I mean, you gotta ask yourself this: is their receiving core better than the Texans? Hell yeah, like by far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not a big Cooper guy. I mean, I'm biased because like he did the Raiders dirty as fuck, but like
not as bad as the Minka Fitzpatrick did the Dolphins.
I mean, I know that. I'm just saying, like, no, I'm a little biased towards Cooper because I'm not a fan of him, but like, I don't think he's like this amazing. He's a great route runner, but I did think Watson was gonna like elevate his game, and like, I don't know. The Browns, like, you understand, like, they can't just get rid of his contract. I don't think, like, they did just.
No, we can't anymore. We accepted it. We could have avoided it like 2 weeks ago, but we didn't.
Yeah, no, the Browns, like, they fucked themselves for years, and
they gotta hope that Deshaun plays. If they don't, then the Browns will be the biggest dumpster fire ever.
His lawyers literally like exposed him.
Yeah, his lawyers said happy endings aren't illegal.
Yeah, I know. I was like, bro, like
he exposed Watson. Watson knows he's guilty. When I like watch his press conferences now, he just like he sounds weird. I'm sorry.
He was like, I remember he made like a statement. He was like, I didn't cause any harm to anyone. I was like,
I'm like, nah, you did some shit. I'm sorry.
Even like, I don't think all 26 or 28 whatever it is true.
I think it's more like 6 maybe.
The weird thing to me is 66 different masseuses in 17 months.
Well, I'm saying he's guilty.
That makes no sense whatsoever. And I remember
half of them are not masseuses. They're probably hookers.
No. Y'all are forgetting it. It's the NDAs. No, the Texans supplied him with non-disclosure agreements with 90% of the women. And 26 of them came out. So therefore they couldn't have signed the NDAs. So not only is Deshaun in this, the Texans are in this, as well as the fact that like a lot of the stories aren't lining up. There's people dropping out. Like there's some women that won't take the money at this point, and it's like it's so up in the air because there's no way to prove it innocent or guilty. You can't just get evidence. It's just word of mouth at this point.
Yeah. That's why I've been saying this whole time.
It's really bad.
I was like, it's hard to prove if he's innocent or guilty, but I mean, but these kids, these people, they're like, oh my God, Deshaun Watson's free. I was like, no, bro, he's not free. Trust me, he's far from free.
Yeah, no, he's
There's
not.
there's still a lot going on, and I think he'll end up in Deshaun paying the money. I think he'll end up paying the money. I mean, I respect him. He wants to clear his name, which that was a big thing for me. I thought he was trending towards innocent, because if he was just guilty, he would just paid the money like Ben Roethlisberger did, but he didn't. He wants to clear his name, so maybe that. But I just still don't believe it.
It's weird. Like, it's really weird, but like, you know, the fact when the Texans kind of got involved and it was like 66 different women, I'm like, it's just weird, dude. Like, it's a very weird situation. Like, this is something like you'd see in like some movie, bro. Like, it's really, it's just weird. It's,
The thing is, the Texans
you know,
don't
it just
want
makes me think that
Texans don't want Deshaun Watson to play because they have the Browns' first-round pick. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans were like hiring people to go against Watson.
Texans doing what the Raiders did to John Gruden, or you know, they just
John Gruden.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
there's
think
not much more to
they're
say.
like I don't think blackmailing him or something. I mean, that's literally what they did. They blackmailed him. Like, they knew what he was doing, and once he left, they're like, "All right, fuck you."
Yeah, but I mean, there's not really much more to say about the situation. There's no like new evidence, and the suspension will be said when it's said. But yeah, this episode's gone on fucking long.
I wanted to touch on the drafts real quick since we're talking about the offseason. Winners of the Jets. What? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think he's gonna play until he gets proven innocent. I don't think that'll ever happen.
So the Browns a playoff team or not?
No.
Yes.
If they have Watson, yes. If they don't,
I would say no as of now until I know more about if Watson's playing or not.
All right, boys,
But-
I gotta dip out.
All right. Talk to you later.
Peace.
See you. All right, I was going to talk about the draft real quick. The winners of the draft were the Jets, Ravens, the Chiefs.
yeah.
Losers. Oh, and the Giants. The first round, the Giants were W. Huh?
I was saying the Giants too.
Yeah. Losers. People don't like the Commanders pick. I was a big Jahan Dotson fan. I compared him to Odell Beckham Jr. So I don't know if
Commanders.
I would, huh? I don't know if I would.
The Commanders.
The Commanders. That was the biggest L of the offseason. The biggest.
I'm not one of the guys that's like, oh, they should have kept the Redskins, but I'm definitely like,
I wanted the Red Wolves. The Red Wolves sound sick.
I know, but it was some copyright issue or some shit like that. But like, I
just need to get rid of that franchise. That feels terrible.
Got like a mascot and not just a W. I like their W logo, but like their helmet color is so clean.
Oh yeah, their jersey, the jerseys in general are clean. I think.
I don't like the jerseys. I like their away uniforms are so. They're all uniforms are so ugly in my opinion.
The one that Jahan Dotson was in the thing, I think looked good. I'll pull it up on the thing, but I think they look good. I mean, I just don't like the name. The Commanders is just mid. I would rather than keep the football team. The football team, despite all the memes that came with that, I think it was actually a pretty sick name.
Yeah, I did, because like it's especially like it's in like the U.S. Capitol. Like, it's just I don't know. I liked it, but like honestly, I think the winner. Yeah, to me, the Jets were the unanimous winners.
I think the Ravens had a better draft.
I think the Jets.
I think the Ravens had a better draft because of what they did. The full draft. I think first round. I think the Jets had the best draft, but I think the Ravens had a fully better draft because they got a first round pick for Marquise Brown, which I don't know how, and they got Tyler Linderbaum, which has potential to be one of the better centers in the league. They got Kyle Hamilton, who has potential to be one of the best safeties in the league. They got David Ojabo. If he comes back healthy, he was a first-round pick. He may be a top 10 pick. They got Jalen Armour Davis, who, despite injuries, he was good his last year at Alabama. He's got a bunch of potential with his speed and everything. Travis Jones is a guy I really, really like. I think he's going to be a really good player. He's going to have like a Christian Barmore type year next year. So I think overall the Ravens had the best draft, but I think the first round the Jets took it. Losers of the draft, I would say the Jags. I don't like Trayvon Walker pick. He was my 13th ranked player, and they drafted him number 1.
I had never really heard much of him until like the week of the draft, and I was like,
yeah, I mean, I've known about him for a while, but I mean, I think he was like the third best player on that Georgia defensive line.
Yeah,
not even the whole defense, the defensive line. I think Jalen Carter was 1. I think Jordan Davis was 2.
I thought Hutchinson was the first pick. That was my number 1.
I thought Kayvon Thibodeau was the first.
Kayvon was my second pick.
I think KT was
the only reason I had Hutchinson over Kayvon, and like I don't usually do this, but it's just because of the competition he went. He went against.
I think
because like it's the Pac-12. Like I'm gonna watch the safe.
The reason I took KT, I thought KT should have been number 1 pick over Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's a mix of the two. I think Hutchinson is like the best player now, and I think Trayvon Walker has the potential to be the best player. But I think Kayvon Thibodeau has the upside of a Walker, and I think he's a better player now than Trayvon Walker. So I think I thought Kayvon Thibodeau should have been probably number 1 pick or at least top 2, but the Giants got him at 5? Evan Neal at 7? That was insane.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole episode about the
Hutchinson overrated, sadly. Will Anderson clears. But losers of the draft, Jags. The draft was so long ago, I can't even remember off the top of my head anymore.
Titans are absolute losers.
Titans, yeah. Oh, we never even talked about the AJ Brown trade.
I'm pretty upset about that. I had a lot to
talk about the AJ Brown trade real quick, just you and me.
Nah, I'll talk about AJ Brown when we talk about the Eagles, because I have a lot to say about Philadelphia. I'm so high on them.
All right, AJ Brown trade to the Titans, or trade to the Eagles from the Titans. Titans didn't really get necessarily the value I think they should have for a young receiver. I think AJ Brown is a big. I said this in a group chat, or not our group chat, but a different one. I think that AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill are going to be big in the breakout years for Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. Even though those guys demand target shares, I think they open up those two guys to have big years. So that's all we'll say. I think AJ Brown to the Eagles makes them a really scary team. I think they're more of that 2017. I think was that the year they went to Super Bowl. I think they have that type of potential because no one was really talking about them until they started winning in the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah, no, their whole thing was the underdogs. You know, they had like the dog mask and everything. Yeah. Like that team was fun, bro. I like that team. I hate Carson Wentz. I always have. But that team was fun to watch, and they're always like coming out to me. Mail and shit, and they're like dancing after the games. That team is fun. I miss that team. I miss that Super Bowl.
One thing I wanted to talk about that we never really touched on was Matt Ryan to the Colts. I think that was an underrated move. I think the Colts win the AFC South pretty handily. I think they'll be the winner of that division. I think Matt Ryan can have a sneaky good year. I mean, I know I said Jameis Winston's my dark horse MVP, but I think Matt Ryan could be thrown in there too. I think, obviously not great weapons, but you got Jonathan Taylor, you got a good offensive line, something he hasn't had in 20 years. But yeah, I think the Colts still have a chance to sign Julio.
So. You took the words out of my mouth right now. I was going to try to create this segment of either free agents or the trade targets that are available right now, who could absolutely change the team. To me, it's Julio to the Colts.
Yeah, I think Julio to the Colts would be an insane move. I think
Julio, yes, it would, or Odell.
Yeah, Odell the Packers would be, yeah, or I mean Odell would to Colts, but I think Odell the Packers makes more sense. And I
It
think
does,
Julio,
but like Julio, like to the Colts, I would just go insane.
I don't even think Julio was washed necessarily. I think he was used
I think he had one bad.
to see.
He's on the Titans, and I don't think Tannehill's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think either.
I honestly like. I really want to see Julio go to the Colts. I think
Me
that
too.
offense would just be stellar.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I don't think it'd be insane, but I think it'd be good. I think it would. They would be a lock for the playoffs, in my opinion. I think they're already probably a lock. I like them better than the Titans right now.
I have no faith in the Titans.
I don't really have much faith in them either.
I have zero.
I think Derrick Henry coming back is obviously good, but they definitely got worse this
I
offseason.
don't know. I think Jonathan, like to me, I think Jonathan Taylor's more valuable than Derrick Henry for what I've seen in the past couple of years.
The
Like,
thing is, he's had one good year. I think Derrick Henry's had multiple, so I
Yeah.
don't think I wouldn't put that, and I wouldn't put that there yet.
I didn't
Yeah,
last
it
couple
should
years,
be
I
more
meant last
valuable.
season, but like Jonathan Taylor was insane. Derrick Henry's insane too. I've always like had Derrick Henry as my running back one.
Yeah,
But, like, let's just assume they both stay healthy. Like, it's not that I think Taylor is like a better running back. I mean, he's definitely more talented, but like the Colts O line is just nice.
yeah.
Like Taylor's going to produce more than Derrick Henry will, and that's just a fact.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. I think the Colts are playoff locks.
and I don't
Infographic.
Titans. So
AFC is going to be insane this year. Y'all were talking about the Allen Robinson movie. I didn't really get my opinion on that, but I think Allen Robinson will be good. Cooper Kupp good. Rams good. So
yeah.
yeah, but I think that's gonna be it, considering we're running out of time for this third different recording.
Yep.
So
All right.
yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later. Peace.